Farm show season is here, but are farmers in a buying mood? The focus for many, trying to maximize return on investment, giving themselves the best shot at profitability.
With low commodity prices, I think growers are looking for solutions, tools that they can use to reduce costs, right, and maximize their profit.
We visit Gateway Farm Expo, hear from growers and vendors. Plus, Congress pass a farm bill now or start all over with a new president. Later, we look at Thanksgiving trends and what protein consumers are putting on the dinner table.
Keep kids in the state rather than going straight to another state.
And the Elite 11, the first students are on campus who could be the future veterinarians Nebraska desperately needs, and we'll meet them. It's time to grow. The farm economy may be soft, but the state's longest running farm show draws a crowd. I'm Steve White. Thanks for joining us on NTV News. Farmers looking for every edge they can get, trying to manage costly inputs. Farming's tough work, and with margins razor thin, growers are looking for an edge.
The years that we are right now with low commodity prices, I think growers are looking for solutions, tools that they can use to reduce costs, right, and maximize their profit.
That's what Nick Lammers and Matt Maloney specialize in, selling equipment that helps farmers use just the right amount of nitrogen and water the crop needs,
so that we can get as much yield as we can.
Gateway Farm Expo launched not long after man stepped foot on the moon. Now farmers use space-age technology to guide their tractors and know when to irrigate. As the show celebrates 55 years, precision ag is mainstream, and it's not about growing the biggest crop, but about getting the best return on investment.
They're not making any more ground, and what ground's out there for sale you can find is expensive. So really the best thing you can do is try to optimize your ROI. And the more efficient you can be, the more profitable you're going to be without sacrificing yield.
Kevin Harsh works with growers to manage costly inputs,
where we can help you reduce your dependence on synthetic nitrogen, reduce the amount you're putting out there through a stabilizer, through a replacement product, through satellite imagery.
This is a volunteer-led event, and while Kearney has grown, it's still an egg-based community.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, where else can you come and see all your favorite brands and learn about new ones than, right here at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds?
And while some farm shows have seen numbers drop, organizers here say vendor numbers remain strong. Whether cattle handling equipment, tractors, feed, seed, banking, or more, the show features it all, including several vendors focused on trying to help farmers manage inputs to the benefit of the bottom line and the environment.
Every time that pivot goes around, you got 130, 35 acres, whatever that circles water, and that's 3.2 million gallon of water. That's a lot of water. So you put that in reference to, how much water is being used on a daily basis with all the pivots we have out there. If we can save even a couple of revolutions, that's a lot of gallons.
Gateway Farm Expo has already set the dates for the next 3 years, with many vendors trying to lock in their spot to be here in front of these kinds of crowds.
I'm Emily Kieran Holdridge. A new study is out about a proposed $5 billion plant in Phelps County, which could transform the local economy. DG Fuels, a company that makes sustainable aviation fuel from corn stovers, announced a $5 billion Phelps County location earlier this year. The project is still in the beginning stages and many details are not clear, but an economic study from the Nebraska Public Power District suggests millions in impacts.
And it came back much like we expected. With a $5.5 billion investment, clearly it's going to have a big impact on the economy.
The study suggests that both during construction and during operation, employment at the plant, spending in the local economy, agricultural sales, and taxes on production and imports will contribute to the local economy. The report suggests annual retail sales could increase by 11 million.
That economic impact is going to stretch over a long period of time and have an impact on virtually every aspect of our economy.
Phelps County estimates around 650 jobs would be created at the plant, which the study says could result in $54 million in wages for those employees and $16.7 million in wages for secondary jobs.
Those jobs, however, are going to stimulate the creation of secondary jobs in retail, services, and elsewhere throughout the economy.
The future location of the plant has yet to be announced, although the expected completion date is still around 2030.
Our team is working diligently to complete all of the necessary steps before we move into the next phase of the project, which will begin early in 2025.
The Phelps County Development Corporation also says they will begin talking to interested farmers about contracts and grower agreements as early as December, as well as hold a public town hall. Emma Leake, NTV News, Holdridge.
What to do about the Farm Bill? Pass it now or wait? Farmers Union has made its position known, saying Congress must pass a strong, comprehensive 5-year farm bill before year's end. Quote, a farm bill provides the certainty and stability farmers need, including a strengthened safety net, disaster assistance, robust investments in conservation, and measures to help farmers compete more effectively. While significant work has been done by the House and Senate Agriculture Committees, leaders at the highest levels in both chambers must now make passing a strong, comprehensive 5-year farm bill their top priority before the year ends. End quote. Others, though, would prefer to start all over with a new president and a new Congress, even if that delays things. And let's take a look at crop progress. Corn harvest, 97% complete, so just a few acres left. Moisture continues to rate mostly short to very short. Winter wheat mostly fair to good. And we visited with extension educators in southwest Nebraska as they host an upcoming crop scouting clinic.
Specifically focused on the things that we see most commonly in southwest Nebraska. With Nebraska having such a diverse, climate from east to west, folks in the east are going to have different things than what we have out here. So,
yep. And we also know that sometimes things look similar. So we're hoping to really nail down some of those key identifications in some of these pests.
Yeah, I mean, as a layman myself, sometimes I'll look at something, I go, I can tell something's wrong by looking at that leaf, but that could be any of a number of different things. It could be a disease thing, it could be an insect thing. Sometimes there's some signs that kind of, are confusing, and you look at it, you might think it's one thing, and if you treat for the wrong thing, well, that's no good, right?
Yep. If you are applying the wrong treatment, or maybe your timing is off, then that can be loss of money, and also then the problem isn't fixed.
So what are some of the problem areas, some of the topics that might come up at an event like this?
Well, some of the insects we're going to cover, we're going to focus on western bean cutworm, which continues to be one of the top pests out here, western corn rootworm, and then we'll also touch into wheat stem sawfly, and then a couple of pests of alfalfa, like alfalfa weevil, and some aphids. And then we'll also cover some soybean insect pests.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've got Dectes stem borer. This is a pest in soybeans that has really been causing some problems in Lincoln County. So it kind of seems like it's moving a little bit north up from Kansas, and may start to show up more in southwest fields. And also spider mites as well in soybeans.
One thing I was going to ask you, we all carry one of these things in our pocket anymore. How does that change how we scout? Are there tools and things on our phones? Are you going to be discussing that at all?
Yeah, definitely. So there's several apps that folks can use when scouting. One of them is the Western Bean Cutworm Speed Scouting app, and that can really help save time. And when you're going out into your field to scout, it can kind of give you some feedback and help you decide whether or not it's time to treat. And then there's also the Sporecaster app, which helps with deciding whether or not your field is at high risk for white mold. Oh. And that's usually in soybeans and dry beans.
So there is no cost to attend. And so space is limited, but and you can call to register.
And we also have a lot of resources that we'll be handing out, scouting resources, guides, and some other tools that they're going to get.
And one of the neat tools I think we'll just talk about real fast is a macro lens, so that you could put it directly on your phone and take more detailed up close images of a pest or disease.
And I appreciate clinics like this that Extension does, because you bring together a bunch of like-minded people. You end up having great conversations even at lunch or during a break, or you make connections with somebody else and meet some other people. And that's always part of the fun too, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep. And I think that's one of the things we're looking forward to, is just meeting some growers, producers in our area, and kind of know how they're tackling their scouting and maybe some issues they're seeing that, can also help us too.
Later, we're going to meet the future veterinarians Nebraska so badly needs. Up next, Talking Turkey.